Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Babagagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines. Protest rocks Katsina as Buhari commissions overhead bridge projects. 159 Nigerians renounce citizenship in 2022 FG. FG warns criminals against jailbreak attempts. Naira note crisis. Gbajabiamila threatens to arrest Emefiele for shunning invites. Taraba government raises alarm over invasion of communities by cattle rustlers. Protesters block Lagos-Benin Expressway over fuel price hike. Kidnapping. Amotekun raises alarm over missing passengers. And next story, gunmen kill Imo police sergeants. On foreign, Cameroonian forces capture commander of pro-Biafran militias. And on sports, Flying Eagles, Zambia, friendlies get new dates. The news in details. Some youth in Katsina State have taken to the streets to protest the state of the nation on Thursday. The protest took place shortly after President Muhammadu Buhari commissioned the Kofar Kaura overhead bridge protest in Katsina metropolis. An eyewitness told correspondent that immediately the president left the Kofar Kaura area of capital city, irate youth began to make bonfires on the newly constructed road, chanting Bamuyi, Bamuyi in Hausa language, meaning we are not interested. According to him, my name is Mustafa Mohammed Bobs. After President Muhammadu Buhari has commissioned the underpass, some unknown persons came from the neighborhoods and began to chant Bamuyi, stoning security operatives and branded APC vehicles, as well as burning tires. For these reasons, we decided to close our shops for safety. This act is improper and condemnable because it is not called for. However, the police operatives have dispersed the protesters with tear gas, while normalcy has returned to the area as the president moved on to commission other projects within the state. And to the next story. The federal government on Thursday said about 159 Nigerians renounced their citizenship in 2022 alone. The permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Shuaib Balgore, disclosed these at the 64th session of the State House ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Before also said 150 Nigerians renounced their citizenship between 2006 and 2021. In 2022, however, 159 Nigerians renounced their citizenship. Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, said the massive exodus of Nigerians out of the country in search of greener pasture was responsible for the high influx of people demanding passports. The minister said in 2022, the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, issued the highest number of passport booklets, totaling 1 million plus in over 7 years. To the next story. The federal government has issued a warning to criminals to desist from making any attempt to break into any jail across the country. This warning was given by the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, while speaking at the 64th Ministerial Press Briefing at the State House on Thursday. According to the minister, there have been recent attempts, but many of them repelled and such individuals killed. He further underlined that with their captured biometrics, as well as the state-of-the-art recreational facilities erected in the 6 geopolitical zones across the country, the chances of criminals successfully breaking into any facility have been significantly minimized. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola, during State House briefing on Tuesday, equally stated that the ministry has deported at least 70 foreign nationals for various infractions in the last 2 years. The majority of those deported, he noted, were from the Democratic Republic of Korea, Egypt, Sri Lanka, among others. Also, the Interior Ministry disclosed that a total of 309 Nigerians have so far renounced their citizenship in the last 16 years, with 150 Nigerians renouncing in 2022 alone. And to the next story. The Speaker of the House of Representatives has threatened to order the arrest of Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele to appear before the committee investigating the old Naira note withdrawal. Gbajabiamila said this on Thursday after the majority leader of the House, Ado Dogua, informed him that Emefiele and others shunned the invitation to a meeting on Wednesday. Responding to the statement, Gbajabiamila said he would not hesitate to order the Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba, to issue an arrest warrant to compel Emefiele to appear before the committee. Mr. Gbajabiamila added that the House ought to adjourn today to prepare the elections. However, they will stay back to resolve the currency swap crisis. He also stated that Emefiele's deadline is not consistent with Section and Sector 20 of the CBN Act, noting that the banks are compelled to accept the old notes even after the expiration of the deadline. It will be recalled that the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, who is believed to be the godfather of Gbajabiamila, also spoke against the policy on Thursday during a rally. Tinubu alleged that the policy is targeted at his presidential ambition. Moving too far north in Taraba. Taraba state government has raised the alarm over the invasion of some communities in Bali and Gasol local government areas of the state by cattle rustlers from neighboring Cameroon. It is said the activities of the marauders are heightened tension and local inhabitants are at the receiving end of the marauders' onslaught. The State Commissioner for Information, Lois Emmanuel, at a briefing Thursday, also dismissed rumors of an inter-ethnic conflict in the affected communities. This development naturally has attracted resistance from the local inhabitants. It is therefore not an inter-ethnic or intra-ethnic rivalry and clashes. Explaining the importance of the two LGAs to the economic survival of the state, she noted that they are among the most naturally endowed parts of Taraba State, especially in agricultural produce. For this reason and more, they have been a natural attraction to foreigners and other Nigerians seeking comfort and career in farming and other business activities. Criminals and social misfits are not left out in the rush to these communities for economic self-sustenance. In their own case, they frequently exceed or outrightly abuse the boundaries of hospitality and accommodation offered by the indigenous people of the states. Protesters mailing youth on Thursday blocked the Lagos-Benin Expressway at Oluku Junction in response to the rise in fuel price and scarcity of the product. Commuters who were on their way to Lagos and those hoping to do business in the area were stranded for long hours. The transporters also lamented the blockade while expressing dissatisfaction over the incident. A trader, Grace Emmanuel, who was taking her goods to Ecuador, said it was pertinent for her to take her perishable goods to where she would sell them so that she doesn't incur losses. It is unfortunate that this protesting is taking place because it will add to the existing problem. If I don't get my goods to where I want to sell them, some might get worse and I will incur losses, which I don't want at this time. A driver who gave his name as Osao said the protest has left most people stranded in the axis while calling on the government to look into what is causing the fuel crisis in the country. And to part of southwest Nigeria, Ondo State Security Network codename Amotekun Corps has raised the alarm over how members of the public who boarded commercial motorcycles as well as cabs got missing during the day. It warned residents in the state to stop boarding motorcycles Okada without SITA registration number as well as avoid riders with hooded faces to ascertain their safety. Commander Odo Amotekun Corps Adetunji Adeleye, who doubles as a special advisor to Governor Akeredolu on security matters, said many persons are falling victims of the dastardly act. He said they were working on breaking the syndicate, but the public should stop boarding any Okada that does not wear SITA registration and without commercial registration number plates. Taxis that are not painted and numbered in commercial number should not ply the road again. Any taxi without registration number is assumed to belong to the syndicates and we are tracking them down. But we want to warn members of the public not to board such Okada or taxi, otherwise they may end up being hypnotized and kidnapped. To part of the southeast, Gunmen have killed a female police sergeant, Chinyere Obilo, serving in Imo State. The corps was killed on Wednesday when gunmen ambushed her and her colleagues at Iete Junction on Owerri Aba Road in Owerri. She and her colleague were said to be on duty when the gunmen fired on the police personnel. Also killed was yet to be identified person said to be a civilian. The female corps was attached to the highway patrol team of the State Police Command. A source said that the vehicle, which was abandoned by the attackers, had been recovered by the police. She was attached to the highway patrol team unit. The hoodlums abandoned their vehicle, Bosimo, which they came in with. It has been recovered and brought to Owerri. The Imo State Police Command spokesperson, Henry Okoye, had yet to respond to an inquiry concerning the development as of the time of filing these reports. To the foreign story, one of the commanders of the Biafran Nations League, Henry Edet, has been captured by the Rapid Intervention Battalion BIR. He was apprehended early Wednesday morning in Atabong East in the ceded Bakassi Peninsula side of the southwest region of Cameroon. Edet is the operational commander of BNL. The Cameroonian forces picked up Henry Edet in connection with the Black Marine, which is a militant group which has reportedly killed scores of Cameroonian troops. Meanwhile, there has been no official reaction from the leadership of BNL over the developments. Lastly, on sports. The Flying Eagles double-header friendlies against the Junior Polo Polo of Zambia will now be played next month. The friendlies were earlier scheduled for January 27th and 30th. Laden Bosso side will now battle the Zambians on February 3rd and 6th. The two games will be played at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja. Both countries will use the game as part of their preparations for the 2023 Africa Under-20 Cup Nations in Egypt. The Zambian traveling party are expected to arrive Abuja on Monday for the friendlies. The Flying Eagles are due to fly out on February 8th for a training camp in Morocco. That concludes the world news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Protests rocks Katsina as Buhari commissions overhead bridge projects. 159 Nigerians renounce citizenship in 2022, FG. FG warns criminals against jailbreak attempts. And lastly, Flying Eagles, Zambia friendlies get new date. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagide Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.